UPS? Here we go one more time with another breakdown. Alright, this time we got Donkey Kong Deez NutZ. So here we go, breaking the team down. With Donkey Kong Deez NutZ first draft pick, who was of course Le'Veon Bell, one of the Steelers' greatest weapons he's got. I want to say he is on par, maybe just a little close second to Antonio Brown, but definitely a great pick as a running back. So let me hit you with a couple of stats with him. Le'Veon Bell went with 22.4 fantasy points average last year. He had 290 catches, and when he did have those, it was 4.7 yards average. And also the man got 8 touchdowns for that team, so definitely good. Also, he's a threat when it comes to short passes, things like that. It came down to it. He got 83 receptions. And when he got those, he averaged at least about 10 yards. So definitely being one of Steelers' best weapons. Unfortunately, the only downside to Le'Veon Bell is he's going to have to miss 2 games. Definitely, I'm pretty sure, he's well aware of this. And Donkey Kong Deez NutZ has made preparations to cover those two games he's going to miss. And when I get to the running backs, we'll definitely see who his backup will be. Up next is the QB for Donkey Kong Deez NutZ. And my man went with, of course, Peyton Manning. Not a very bad pick. Let me just start off with the stats and give you my opinion after that. So with Peyton Manning, the man averaged 19.3 fantasy points last season. When it comes to his pass rating, he is 101.5. Definitely not bad. 39 touchdowns last season. Very promising. Now, let me break down my opinion about Peyton Manning. Be aware this is my own opinion. I felt at the end of the season, Peyton Manning got downloaded. People started to figure him out with this Denver's offense. In the fantasy, when you get 3 points a game, not the best look. And then going against the Oakland Raiders, he only got 8. It's tough. He is getting older. He's getting up there in age. He's obviously going to decrease. And then you got to look, one of his losses is that he lost Julius Thomas. You can debate about if that's a good or a bad thing, but granted, he does still have Demarius, which is obviously his favorite target to throw to. And, we'll see how it goes for him this season, but that's just my opinion. Donkey Kong Deez NutZ running backs. This is going to be the first time I think I've had to hit 3 running backs just to cover, because Le'Veon Bell will be out for 2 games, like I previously said. So first up, we have Giovanni Bernard, Cincinnati running back. Last season he had a lot of upside being, the starter, but injury caused him to take a back seat to Jeremy Hill. That's definitely going to cause him to lose a lot of fantasy potential. Definitely they will use him, but like I said, he's going to be playing backseat. So I'll just hit you with a couple of stats. The man averaged 16.3 fantasy points last season. When he did get carries, it was 168. He averaged 4 yards per carry, and also he had 5 touchdowns. Not much downside. He'll probably be used here and there, but like I said, he's taking a back seat at the moment. And for his, I want to say 3rd running back probably, is going to be Doug Martin. Definitely a weapon in the Buccaneers running game. He showed a lot of promise last season. Unfortunately, he's just with the Bucs, so take that as you will. The man did average 4.4 fantasy points last season. There was a lot due to his injuries as well. When he did carry the ball, it was 3.7 yards per carry on average. His receptions was 13, and also he got 2 touchdowns. So that's definitely a 3rd string or very low string, 2nd string. With Donkey Kong Deez NutZ, let's break down his wide receivers. Now let's see. First up, I'm going to hit you with his boy, Emmanuel Sanders. Definitely some potential there. You got Peyton Manning throwing you a ball. It's never a bad thing, to be honest with you. The only problem is he's going to be second in targets, in my opinion, when he's coming against Demaryius Thomas, who obviously is Peyton Manning's favorite to throw to. So I'm just going to hit you with a couple stats and let you know what's up. The man averaged 18.4 fantasy points last season. He had 101 receptions after being targeted 141 times. And on average, he got about 13.9 yards when he did get the ball. 9 touchdowns, not something to laugh about. That's pretty decent. The only downside, which a lot of people are saying, is that, he's one of the receivers on the smaller end. Definitely not as tall or as bulky as a couple of the other ones, but he does get work and he does put it in. So next up, I'm gonna hit. It's gonna be Jeremy Maclin. Sorry about that. Definitely coming from Philly over to Kansas City. That's gonna change a lot of things from him now. He's actually got a decent quarterback that's gonna go for him. The only thing is that he might not see as much due to Jamal Charles. Probably in the touchdown game, but I definitely do see him getting some of the play. Granted, him and Smith have made a lot of relationship going on. So if he can throw the ball and he can catch the ball, definitely a lot of things going to happen there. But he is the new guy on the block, so you got to see how that goes. So next up, we got Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboys tight end. Definitely a target of Romo. Granted, he's going to go up against Dez Bryant when it comes to targets. I just feel with Dallas picking Bryant over Murray, definitely they're looking to get Bryant the ball a lot more. That's the only thing to worry about when it comes to Witten. And like I said, with tight ends, obviously they are blockers as well, so that causes them to get more injury prone. But definitely I'll break down the stats for Witten for you. The man averaged 10 points fantasy-wise last season. He was targeted 90 times, and out of those, he had 64 receptions. And then when it came to that, he gained about 11 yards on average. 5 touchdowns, definitely not bad. And just honestly, when it comes to it, he'll probably have less runs when it comes to Murray being gone. So with that, they might not need him as a blocker. They'll probably need him more to get the ball. So that definitely averages him out. As usual, we're going to end off with the defense for Donkey Kong Deez NutZ. So, like I said, we just do points per game allowed with the defense. And my man picked up the Carolina Panthers. And last season, they averaged about only allowing 23.4 yards. Definitely on the higher end, so we'll see how it goes for them. They got more problems to worry about, but like I said, defense is week to week, so he'll probably make changes later on, but right now that's what is on his starting lineup. All right, so Donkey Kong Deez NutZ, time for your grade. Honestly, looking at your team, I'm not too sure. I'm going to go with a B-. Definitely, you got something there. Le'Veon Bell, definitely a good pick as a running back. Unfortunately, even as a Steelers fan myself, he has the potential to be injury prone, so that might hurt you later on. Your running back situation, that's going to need a little fixing in my opinion. Peyton Manning, even though my personal opinion is not the best, he definitely has proven he is one of the top quarterbacks, so I'm not knocking any points for that one. Jeremy Maclin is also going to knock you down a bit. He is with the Kansas City Chiefs offense, who last season couldn't get a touchdown receiving. So we'll see if he can pull anything off. So definitely he's still there. But also another one, stronger points you have is Emmanuel Sanders. And definitely I'm just saying, I'm going to give you a B-. If anything, a little higher, definitely a solid B. But right now, just a B-.
These nuts.